Ink Deep by Enchanted Nightingale. Chapter 4. Roots. Neji had few pictures of his parents. There was one with Hiashi and his Genin team and Jonin Sensei, back when Hiashi was 11 years old. It was how Neji learned that he resembled his father quite a bit. The second picture was of his parents' wedding. Hiashi and Kaio wore traditional clothes on their wedding day. The wedding had not been arranged, surprisingly. They were both branch members of the Hyuga family, but distantly related, so that no inbreeding could occur. Hiashi had seen Kaio, and it was love at first sight. They married before they reached 16, and Neji had come by the time Hiashi turned 22. Kaio had not been a ninja, and she had not lived past Neji's 3rd year. She had been pregnant with Neji's baby sister, but neither of them had survived childbirth. Still, Harry had pictures of his mother when she was younger, after when she was pregnant with him, and then a few more from family functions. After she died, followed by his father soon after. There were no family pictures for Neji until he took his picture for his Genin file. Still, because he was a shinobi, it was not an odd thing. They were not supposed to leave traces. So it struck him as something odd that Harry did not have many pictures in his home. Hinata and Hanabi both seemed to like hanging around him, and Harry enjoyed the company quite a bit. The eldest of the two would often invite him out for tea or engage with Harry on long talks about the arts. Hanabi was a bit more bloodthirsty. She had been intrigued by Harry's knowledge of martial arts, and then in the game called chess he had introduced to her. She reminded the Wizard of Ron, but a smarter, more stoic, aristocratic, and a female version of Ron. The two sisters were so different that it was no wonder, like Hinata had admitted, when they were younger, they did not get along. That evening, Harry had arranged to go to dinner with Neji, and the shinobi had commented about Harry's blossoming friendship with his two cousins. "Again?" Neji asked. "I honestly never thought Hanabi would seek you out." Harry swallowed his mouthful of steak and shrugged.
"Me neither,"
he admitted.
"In the beginning, she was rather scary."
"Only in the beginning," Neji commented.
"Yes, while I'm dating you,"
Harry replied. "Was I really that scary?" his lover asked. Neji felt a bit concerned. He really did not want Harry to fear him or be wary of him. Harry scoffed.
"Hardly. More like drop-dead gorgeous."
Neji, feeling quite better, decided to just tease Harry and to not show how insecure he was about a few things. "Really? Not even a little bit scary?" Neji asked with a wink. Harry laughed.
"If that's so important, then yes, I was shaking on the spot."
"Are you teasing me?"
"I don't know. Are you?"
The two lovers smirked at each other.
"Is that your mother?"
Harry picked up the frame in the sitting room. Neji looked up from his task of setting the table for them. "Yes," the shinobi replied. "Kaio Hyuga, no real blood relation for at least 6 generations. I saw you arch an eyebrow. My family does not inbreed."
"I'm not all that concerned about inbreeding,"
Harry responded. And he really was not. After seeing how the situation was in the wizarding world, the Hyugas were hardly that big a deal.
"She's really pretty, your mother,"
Harry commented.
"And this?"
"My father."
"You look a lot like him, except for the shape of your face. That's your mother's."
Harry mused out loud. Neji blinked. "Really? I never thought that."
"Really? Huh. I was always told that I was the carbon copy of my father, but I have my mother's eyes,"
the wizard thought with a sad smile. "What kind of people are they?" The wizard shrugged.
I never met them, really. They died when I was a baby. The last memory I have is of my mother pleading to their killer so that he would let me live."
Neji winced. That was a blunder for him, but as Harry's words registered, he felt a bit of horror. It was easy to assume that Harry had seen his mother's murder. Harry, seeing his lover's look, he sighed and walked over to Neji.
"Hey, no big deal."
"No big deal?" Neji sounded incredulous.
"Well, they loved me and died to protect me, but I never really met them. I have some pictures of them, but that's it,"
Harry replied.
"I love them. I always will. But family is an abstract thing for me."
"I met both my parents and lost them before I turned 5, Neji replied. Harry's eyes revealed how genuinely sorry he was, and the shinobi accepted the warm hug his lover drew him into and stayed there, drawing comfort he had not realized he needed. Hiashi surveyed the room from his spot. It was the weekly family dinner. His 2 daughters and his nephew were there, and they were eating quietly. The conversation was kept to the usual things: their day, their team's progress, their training. However, what Hiashi really wanted to know was what was happening between Neji and his lover. The head of the Hyuga clan had not seen the artist his nephew dated in a while, but he had learned quite a bit from the grapevine. He knew that both his daughters had visited Harry's tattoo parlor. He knew that several respectable people were that man's clients. He knew that Guy had caught Neji and Harry kissing in public. Even Hiashi had seen them in town eating together at the stand. Hiashi knew that their relationship was now going on 4 months, and that Neji spent half his free nights at that man's place.
Neji,
He addressed his nephew.
that companion of yours, are you still together?
The younger members of the family stared at Hiashi at the sudden change of subject.
Yes, uncle.
Neji replied.
A civilian, right?
An artist at the profession, Neji responded.
Why don't you invite him around again?
Hanabi met Hinata's eyes, and the two sisters exchanged the same incredulous looks. Neji, ever composed, bowed his head in a slight nod at his uncle. Of course, he told his head of clan.
The sooner the better,
Hiashi told his nephew. They were lounging in Eri's bed. The green-eyed man had completely panicked at the thought of meeting Hiashi again, this time in a more formal fashion, and Neji had taken matters into his own hands to calm his lover down. Harry was currently tangled up in the sheets and lying on top of Neji, the shinobi running his fingers through the green-eyed artist's hair.
And did he say why he wanted to meet me?
Harry asked. No. Harry huffed a bit.
Do you have any idea why he would invite me?
Yes.
Want to tell me before I get angry?
Neji blinked. You can get angry.
I'm not a saint, you know. I was a nasty guy during my teens. Easy to anger. I used to blow up every time.
I cannot imagine you as a teen, the shinobi admitted.
Yes, well, I cringe just remembering then.
Harry muttered. He poked Neji's hip, and his lover's lips quirked a bit.
And don't change the subject, mister. I want to know.
Neji sighed. Harry, would you say that what we have is casual? Harry blinked.
No, not really. And stop doing that thing with your fingers. It's distracting.
Makes you look like a cat, too.
Can you purr?
Harry glared. Fine! Neji rolled his eyes. My uncle noticed this thing as well.
I still can't make the connection.
Well, Neji shifted a bit. He wants to meet you officially as my boyfriend.
How officially?
Harry asked wearily. Neji shrugged. How could I know what my uncle thinks? He slowly withdrew his fingers from his lover's hair and then tapped a finger on Harry's nose. How official do you want it to be? Harry stared.
Neji?
He narrowed his eyes.
How do you feel about me?
He was apprehensive. He really truly liked Neji from the moment he had first seen the dark-haired man, but he had not dared to hope. Shinobi led dangerous lives, and shinobi from large and powerful clans like the Hyugas. Harry was afraid to hope for anything. The wizard knew that everything could end if the clan head chose to make things difficult for them. Don't ask stupid things, Harry.
Why is that a stupid question?
Because I really care for you, Neji replied. His fingers went back to playing with Harry's hair.
I knew you cared for me.
More than care for you, the shinobi continued. The things he wanted to say were there in his white, pupilless eyes. The wizard knew that Neji was not ready to say them yet, and as for himself, he had no idea whether he wanted to hear them. Green eyes were pinned on Neji. Slowly, Harry rose up and crawled up till he reached Neji's lips and kissed the man softly. The shinobi placed a hand on the nape of Harry's neck and pulled the artist closer, deepening the kiss and drawing it out as much as he could. When they stopped for air, they could not stop making eye contact.
I know,
Harry told Neji.
I care about you too.
Neji smiled. Hinata was dressed in a fine kimono in green colors, and Hanabi had chosen something equally elegant in blue. Hiashi glanced at his two daughters, proud of them. We are ready, father, Hanabi announced.
You two look lovely,
Hiashi told them. His compliment made both girls blink in surprise. It was not often their father was so expressive. Thank you, Hanabi replied, her face all a blush, Hinata's as well. The elder sister approached Hiashi. Father, why did you want Neji to invite Harry? She asked. Hinata liked the green-eyed artist, and she hoped that this dinner was not something her father was doing to drive the two lovers apart. She liked seeing Neji happy, and she knew that the civilian was good for him. Neji was doing better now that he was with Harry, and she could not honestly imagine them apart, not anymore. She was prepared to help the pair, even go against her father for them.
Hinata,
Hiashi mused aloud.
Neji, he's in love with this man, Harry, right?
Hinata blinked. Yes, I think he does. Not that he will say that, she replied. You did not seem to mind Harry last time he was here, she carefully commented.
Hiashi chose not to answer her and instead commented on something else. Hanabi likes him as well.
Harry is a wonderful person, Hinata replied, as if that explained everything. We are not close, but I would like to consider Harry a friend and even family,
I thought so as well.
Hiashi admitted. Father? Hinata blinked. A small smile appeared on her face. Do you really mean that? And you won't find trouble with the elders? Hanabi joined in.
Hiashi sighed. I have made a lot of mistakes with Neji and dealt him a hard fate. I think I need to make it up to him.
And what, let them get married? Hanabi asked.
Hiashi coughed. I believe it is too soon for that,
the man commented.
But I want Neji to know that we support him.
I bet the elders did something stupid, Hanabi commented. Hanabi! Hinata and Hiashi both cried out. What? I am most confident that I am correct, and that father wants to calm down Neji enough so that our dear cousin will not take a page from Uchiha Itachi's book and kill them all, Hanabi stated in that imperious way of hers. Our elders are surprisingly dim for wise old men. Hinata was a bit shocked at the way her sister spoke, but the way she said them, the deadpan voice, it left her with no choice but to start giggling. Hiashi just sighed. So, Hanabi demanded, am I right?
Only partially,
her father informed her. Hanabi smiled, quite pleased with herself. I hope tonight ends well, Hinata sighed.
Where is Neji?
Hiashi asked. He went to bring Harry, Hanabi replied. Harry had finished getting dressed and just stood in front of the mirror, staring at his reflection. He felt nervous. The wizard knew what tonight meant. It was a serious milestone in his relationship with Neji, and Harry seriously had no idea whether to be happy or scared. His lover knocked on the door just then, and Harry, still feeling a bit off, opened the door. Harry, are you ready? The shinobi asked. The wizard stared.
You look handsome,
Harry blurted out before he could control himself. Neji scoffed, but the wizard could see the small blush that appeared on his lover's face. Yes, well, the shinobi coughed. Then his eyes trailed up and down Harry's spine. His lover wore a very elegant kimono in dark forest green that bordered on black. Wow! Harry sighed.
Thanks.
That made Neji frown. Okay, why are you like this? All worried and...
Not in the mood,
Harry offered. Harry, is something wrong?
Just... Neji, you don't really know me.
I am aware.
You do not know about my family, my roots, nothing.
Again, I am aware.
And aren't you curious?
Harry demanded. Are you offering information? Neji asked.
Maybe.
Nice try. The shinobi cut him off. We are going to my uncle's no matter what.
But you do have questions.
Of course I do, Neji replied. I want to ask, I want to snoop around, but I won't. Harry blinked.
You won't?
No.
Why?
Harry asked with a bit of suspicion. Because I keep expecting that you will tell me, Neji told his lover. The green-eyed man winced.
Yes, now that makes me sound like a right ass.
Listen, Neji sighed. We can solve this now. Are you a missing nin?
What? No.
Are you after my money?
No.
Do you find me hot? Harry blinked.
Most definitely.
Then I know all I need to know, Neji replied. Now let's go. We don't want to be late. Harry shook his head and followed Neji out of the house. Chopsticks moved and small talk took place while Harry tried not to show his discomfort. The dinner had started 10 minutes ago, and so far the conversation was going okay, just general questions, really.
And how did you decide you wanted to be an artist?
Hiashi asked. Harry hid his wits pretty well. He had not decided to make a career as an artist. There just had not been another way.
I did not,
Harry replied.
I was working in a developing department.
And it was true in a way. The Department of Mysteries developed quite a few things. Developing what? Hanabi asked.
Well, there was no getting away from this, Harry realized. Seals, actually,
the wizard replied. That's how you make the tattoos? Hinata asked.
Yes,
Harry replied.
Seals, Hiashi mused. There are not many that know seals well. It was not easy,
Harry admitted.
I had help, I admit that. A former mentor's friends left me a lot of books and instructions, and I had a library to back me up. And I do not use the language of Konoha when making my seals.
You can speak a foreign language? Hanabi was impressed.
Several,
Harry said.
Most of them are dead languages, meaning only archaeologists or scholars know them. I bet that's an advantage,
Hiashi commented.
It is,
Harry agreed, taking the man's comment as the compliment it was intended to be. So what is the best thing you ever developed? Hanabi asked.
Can't answer that,
Harry replied. The Hyuga stared.
I really can't.
the wizard said to them.
I signed a confidentiality agreement.
You can get around those, Hanabi told him.
With blood,
Harry finished.
That one was binding, all right. That sounds dangerous,
Hiashi mused.
It is, for traders at least.
Harry answered the man. Hiashi considered the green-eyed man too many secrets, but he was straightforward and loyal, and Neji seemed to have feelings for him. It was enough for Hiashi. After the dinner was over, and Neji was about to walk Harry home and perhaps stay the night there, he decided to speak with the two men.
It was nice meeting you,
Hiashi told the green-eyed artist.
Thank you for having me,
the man politely replied.
And I hope you visit more often,
Hiashi continued.
As Neji's lover and companion, you are welcome here, and I want you to remember this.
He then bid them good night and disappeared, leaving behind a pleasantly surprised Harry and Neji.